designer blinds above LA.
You don't really have to make music anymore. I mean,
I do. I'm afraid it's a bit of an obsession.
A musician, singer-songwriter, composer, and producer, Mark Knopfler is most widely recognized as the lead vocalist, guitarist, and writer for the band Dire Straits. Described by Classic Rock as a virtuoso, Knopfler is a fingerstyle guitarist and was ranked 27th on Rolling Stone's list of the 100 greatest guitarists of all time. As of 2009, he and Dire Straits had sold more than 120 million records. A four-time Grammy Award winner, Knopfler is the recipient of the Edison Award, the Steiger Award, the Ivor Novello Award, as well as holding 3 honorary doctorate degrees in music from universities in the United Kingdom. Knopfler was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a member of Dire Straits in 2018.
you have such a distinctive guitar style.
I have a style which is probably all wrong. It would be a guitar teacher's nightmare.
If you enjoy these videos, please remember to hit the like button, as it does help us out a lot. And comment below who your favorite celebrity is that you'd love to see in an upcoming video. His full name is Mark Freuder Knopfler, OBE. He was born on 12 August 1949 in Glasgow, Scotland, UK, making him 70 years old at the time of this production. He stands at 1.83 meters or 6 feet tall. Forget the tantrums and flashy lifestyles associated with most stars. Dire Straits frontman Mark Knopfler is at his happiest when surrounded by his family or riding his beloved scooter. Mark Knopfler is a slow person, he says of himself. He takes his time walking, thinking, reacting, and avoids stress. Knopfler is a fan of his local football club, Newcastle United FC. Knopfler has a collection of classic cars which he races and exhibits at shows. Knopfler's been married 3 times, first to Kathy White, his longtime girlfriend from school days. They separated before Knopfler moved to London to join Brewer's Droop in 1973. Knopfler's second marriage in November 1983 to Lourdes Salamoni produced twin sons who were born in 1987. Their marriage ended in 1993. On Valentine's Day 1997 in Barbados, Knopfler married British actress and writer Kitty Aldrich, whom he'd known for 3 years. They have 2 daughters.
There's a junkyard in there. The songs just kept pushing and pushing.
What were they pushing for?
Because I had just to come out.
Yeah.
Mark Freuder Knopfler was born to an English mother, Louisa Mary, and a Jewish-Hungarian father, Erwin Knopfler. His mother was a teacher, and his father was an architect and a chess player who left his native Hungary in 1939 to flee the Nazis. Knopfler later described his father as a Marxist agnostic. The Knopflers originally lived in the Glasgow area, and Mark's younger brother David was also born there on December 27, 1952. Mark's older sister Ruth was born in Newcastle, where Mark's parents were married in 1947. The family moved to Knopfler's mother's hometown of Blyth near Newcastle in northeast England when he was 7 years old. Mark had attended the Bearsden Primary School in Scotland for 2 years. Both brothers attended Gosforth Grammar School in Newcastle. During the 1960s, he formed and joined several bands and listened to singers like Elvis Presley and guitarists Chet Atkins, Scotty Moore, B.B. King, Django Reinhardt, Hank Marvin, and James Burton. In 1968, after studying journalism for a year at Harlow College, Knopfler was hired as a junior reporter in Leeds for the Yorkshire Evening Post. During this time, he made the acquaintance of local furniture restorer, country blues enthusiast, and part-time performer Stephen Phillips, 1 year his senior, from whose record collection and guitar style Knopfler acquired a good knowledge of early blues artists around their styles. The two subsequently formed a duo called the Duolian String Pickers, which performed in local folk and acoustic blues venues. By the mid-1970s, Knopfler devoted much of his musical energies to his group, the Cafe Racers. His brother David moved to London, where he shared a flat with John Ilsey, a guitarist who changed over to playing bass guitar. In April 1977, Mark moved out of his flat in Buckhurst Hill and moved in with David and John. The three began playing music together, and soon Mark invited John to join the Cafe Racers. Dire Straits' first demos were recorded in 3 sessions in 1977, with David Knopfler as rhythm guitarist. John Illsley as bass guitarist, and Pick Withers as drummer. Dire Straits recorded 6 albums, including Brothers in Arms 1985, one of the best-selling albums in history. After they disbanded in 1995, Knopfler began a solo career and produced 9 solo albums. He's performed with such high-profile artists as Chet Atkins, Eric Clapton, Bob Dylan, Emmylou Harris, Van Morrison, Steely Dan, Sting, and James Taylor. Knopfler is known for his finger-style guitar technique and was ranked 27th on Rolling Stone magazine's list of the 100 greatest guitarists of all time. He's a 4-time Grammy Award winner and the recipient of 3 honorary doctorate degrees in music from universities in the United Kingdom. Knopfler is considered the most celebrated British guitarist to emerge in the 70s and 80s at a time when punk and new wave music were making technique seem irrelevant and metal bands were taking the guitar solo in a noisier, less predictable direction. Knopfler's clean but dexterous picking proved there was still a place for traditionalism in mainstream rock and roll. Knopfler's first solo album, Golden Heart, was released in March 1996 and featured the single Darling Pretty, which made it onto the soundtrack of the 1996 film Twister. Mark Knopfler's estimated net worth is $95 million. Mark Knopfler lives a secluded life in London with his 3rd wife and their 2 daughters. On the ground floor of Mark Knopfler's light-filled, state-of-the-art recording studio in southwest London is an indoor garage housing several cars and a snazzy scooter. Dire Straits frontman and brilliant guitarist Mark Knopfler may not have been born rich, but he certainly is now, and he spent his wealth in a way that many here would definitely approve of: 50s sports cars. Knopfler owns both an Austin Healey 100 and one of 26 Maserati 300Ss ever produced, and he doesn't just let them sit in his garage. He's, besides being a collector of vintage race cars, also an avid amateur race driver, taking part in many historic competitions and frequently shows off his wonderful collection at vintage race events like Goodwood.